Okay guys, so how do we run central tendency descriptives in SPSS? Okay, so first up, I'm in variable view for SPSS. I want to set up my data set first before I run any analysis or input data. So the variable that I'm going to run my central tendency and variability descriptives on SPSS is number of home runs in throughout the season per game. So this is going to be a numeric type of variable. Remember, you can choose between all of these different types. We're predominantly doing numeric versus string. String is a categorical or name variable. This is not a categorical or name variable because we're looking at number of home runs. So I'm going to leave it as numeric. I'm going to keep my width the same. I'm going to go ahead and leave my decimal to 0, not 2, because there's no 2.2 home runs, there's no 2.3 home runs, there's going to be 2 or 3 home runs. So I'm going to leave it at 0 because we want whole numbers. For my label, I just gave myself a sticky note of number of home runs this season per game. Values are 0, missing is 0, columns, whatever, they can stay the same, a line can stay the same. For your measure, I'm going to select ordinal because this is not considered a scale variable, so I'm just going to click in ordinal variable. Okay, so this is how my data is set up. I'm going to switch to data view, and I have my data already input. You can go ahead and pause this video if you want to run it along with me and go ahead and enter your data this way and make sure that it's set up this way. So if you want to go ahead and pause the video and do this before I go to the next step, you can do so. Okay, so my data is set. I have about 15 rows of data here, and I want to run some descriptives of central tendency and variability. So I'm going to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Descriptives. So you'll see a box pop up here, and I'm going to move my variable of number of home runs into the variables that I want to run this descriptive statistic on. So I'm just going to click on that variable and then hit this arrow to move it. So this box should be technically empty, and this box should have your variable. Then you go to Options, and you'll see descriptive options for what type of descriptives output you want. I'm going to click out of the minimum and maximum because we're not looking at that right now, but I'm going to go ahead and select mean, standard deviation, variance, and range for these purposes of central tendency and variability. And then I'm going to hit continue, and I'm going to hit OK. And your output screen and window should pop up here. So as you can see, it'll tell you the number of n, so we had 15, your range, so what is your variable's range by, your mean, your standard deviation, and your variance. So for the exams or quizzes or assignments, you're going to be able to screenshot this screen of your output and be able to submit it to me, whether that's an Excel or a separate picture or PDF or whatever the requirement is. But this is what your output would be, and this is what you would need to make sense out of depending on the question that you have at hand.